The one thing about you, Joe, you do keep the roots alive, the history of it alive. People who have forgotten, and I didn't realize this until looking at your post. We just lost John Mayall. He just passed away, and you did a beautiful post, and I'll put a picture for here for everybody to see. What was he like? I know he was such a big influence on Eric Clapton. Clapton just did a little post about him, teary-eyed.
I want to say a few words about my friend John, who I learned passed last night or sometime yesterday. I want to say thank you chiefly.
But what was John like?
So John was I run into him off and on for the last 25 years. Okay. And run into him, gigs. I opened up for him like years and years ago. And actually a little known fact, we did a Black Country Communion in 2011. We found ourselves at a festival in Italy, and John Mayall opened for Black Country Communion.
Wow.
And I'm not sure if Mr. Sherinian was familiar with his legacy, but anyway, Mayall, John was always kind, and he was always excited. He was like, he's like, come on, let's go. Let's, and he played gigs up until he was like 88 or something like that. Only just recently retired. And I've been screaming about this for the last, I don't know, as long as somebody's been willing to listen. I've been screaming about that one of the biggest snubs at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is that is John Mayall's not a member. Because when you talk about blues rock, which is essentially what I do, it's going to look a lot different without that Beano album. It's going to look and sound a lot different without the Hard Road and Blues from Laurel Canyon, all that stuff, and those guitar players that Mick employed, Mick Taylor, or the guitar players that John employed, Mick Taylor, Eric Clapton, Peter Green, those are game changers. And who was the band leader? Who made those records? Who was the guy that put it all together and made the scene at the Marquee Club in London? John Mayall. Also Alexis Corner, Graham Bond, the Graham Bond organization. So you have all these guys, those three guys that predated modern blues rock and the Zeppelin thing. It was all 64, 65, 66.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the Beatles, you had the Stones, but tangentially you had this blues rock movement. It was Clapton couldn't wait to join John Mayall and the Blues Breakers because it was a knee-jerk reaction from being in a pop band, the Yardbirds. And he wanted to go play straight blues, and
mm-hmm.
that was John. And so I'm glad he was aware that he was going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I am sad and slightly pissed off that he didn't live to see it, because he deserved to go in decades ago. Same thing with Alexis Corner. He deserved to go in. These are first, second ballot people. And there's a lot of, omissions that I think they need to start reconciling quickly, because you cannot wait for them all to die to then go, well, we're going to put you in posthumously. It means something. It would have
mm-hmm.
meant something to John to get that statue. It would have meant something to people like my friend Chris Squire, from Yes, who the Yes goes in the year after he dies. It would have meant something.
It's ridiculous. It's so crazy.
And the two people that I know that are in, Glenn Hughes and Reese Winans, Reese plays in our solo band, and Glenn Hughes obviously Black Country Communion, with another Hall of Famer, Derek Sherinian, on keyboards, and Jason Bonham. And it means something to them.
Yeah,
it really does. It's a validation of, from the minute you had to fight your parents to hey, I want a bass guitar, or I want to play keyboards, and I want to grow my hair long and be a rock and roll hippie. Those were hard conversations in the 1960s, and then to take it all the way to the point where you've impacted the world and You get it. You're in the hall. You're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It means something. And they need to get. There's a lot of people that are now aging out or becoming in their late 70s and 80s that really should have been in decades ago, and they need to get them in because it's the right thing. It's the right thing to do for the artist and for the and I like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're very nice people. Always had a great relationship there. They just for their own organization, the credibility, something with Paul Rogers needs to go in the fucking hall before he dies. I mean, like, you mean to tell me Free's not a Hall of Famer? Come on. It's like, and they have to reconcile the TV broadcast as well, because the arguments of, well, listen, it's a TV broadcast, so we need to stay relevant. That's great. You do the TV broadcast, but how about the day before? You have a ceremony, a dinner, and you induct 10 people that maybe are not hip or can't, are not active playing wise, so they can't do the playing, but a Mayall, somebody like, how about Los Lobos? We'll start there. I mean, like, and anything with Paul Rogers, pick one, The Firm, Free, Bad Company, Foreigner's going in this year. Foreigner 4 had more hits than most artists had in their careers on that one record. And they're just going in now 20 years after eligibility.
Oh, you couldn't, back in the day, you couldn't even turn on the radio not hearing a Foreigner song, From Cold as Ice.
You can't turn on AOR radio now and not hear Foreigners.
It's great. Another guitarist we just lost, which he was playing clubs, little bars in Tacoma, Washington, and nobody really cared. But after you're gone, you're bigger than the picture. Jerry Miller of Moby Grape.
Yeah.
He just passed away. Another one.
Yeah.
Who was,
by the way, I collect Fillmore posters from the 60s.
Oh, do you?
Fillmore, Winterland Ballroom, Avalon Ballroom, all those great San Francisco venues, Fillmore East too. What you didn't realize is, obviously subject matter makes it, but Quicksilver Messenger Service, and Moby Grape was headlining most of those shows. Like it's Moby Grape with the Grateful Dead and Chuck Berry. And Moby Grape shows up on more of these posters than you would think.
Yeah. Because
they were one of the biggest bands of that West Coast psychedelic rock scene.
Oh, huge. And you're right. Now that I'm thinking about Moby Grape, their name is everywhere.
And Quicksilver Messenger Service. They never had the hits, but
but the logo looked great, and there was great musicians in the band. Right now, you can catch this interview in our members only club, unedited. In the meantime, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, because there's more Joe coming your way. Now, click on the box on your screen, post your comments down below. Man, it's a lot I'm asking for. And who loves you, baby? We do. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.